Unaweza tupiwa mistari na mtu alafu unashindwa kwa nini udema anapenda hiki kichali kinakaa tu vile kinataka, lakini amempenda, si kupenda, ni maneno. Mukurino akizaliwa hajuangi kuimba, but tu wote tunakuja tunasoshana aki na kasauti na hawanyongwi, ni kutrainiwa. That means you can be able to do anything. Juu wanazaliwa na mama different, but wote wanapiga hiyo. Hakuna mukurino hajui kuimba. My name is Timothy Kimani, aka Njugush, tall, dark and handsome. I'm a comedian, I'm a farmer, I'm a father. I'm a lot of things, but above all, I'm handsome. When I hear the word comedy, what comes into my mind is fun, laughter, good times, longer lives, less stress, and money. Kenyan comedy industry is going to the right direction, and I admire a couple of guys who are upcoming. I admire there's Crazy Kena, I admire Flacco, kuna cartoon comedian, and a lot of guys. There's also Toka Kwangu. It's also a beautiful work of art. And also recently, kuna one of my two favorite baby mama drama, Icy Stevens. It's amazing, it's beautiful. Talking of a beautiful direction in comedy industry, I did my third edition of Through Thick and Thin, and my inspiration to start the show was one, more loves, longer lives, and money. But the true inspiration was from a point of I'd wanted for a long time to do stand-up comedy, only that I didn't get avenues. So the thing was to create my own avenue and run with it. TTnT has proved to be something quite amazing, because we've been doing, apparently it's supposed to be 1 hour for TV, for the website. But you find we do more than 2 hours. So a lot of content is what people maybe don't get to watch, but we have to do that because it's for TV. Just like in a newsroom, some stories must die. Pia hapo kuna jokes tu za niliambiwa niseme hivi sisemi, sifuati script. Nikaona kamsichana karembo hapo nikapotea. Unajua bwana confused. Unaona mrembo unapotea njia. Ulikuwa unapiga joke ya maima hiyo unajipata umeenda na nyuki. So we have that, and we try to put that on the making of TTnT. Like for example, after every stand-up special, we do a making, which is free on YouTube, so that people see the process of how we started scripting, and then sasa tukakuja what didn't make it on the cut. Yeah. When we started Through Thick and Thin, the idea was to leverage on you can only tell your own story. So the idea is to tell my story, or our story, Mimi na Celestine, our story, but with respect and with the view of other people's lives, because we find we relate. Ukieka picha ya mtu picha ya karum kasingo kakona mattress na bucket, a lot of people will relate. So a lot of us went through that. So from that we can be able to tell a story from other people's eyes, and that's why now we have a team to be able to bring out all the different dimensions for the same. So in terms of, yes, it's based on our lives. When you think of How I Met Your Mother, it's How I Met Your Mother. We've all met our kids' mothers in a different way, and the challenges that come with it. So that's it. Two, it was supposed to happen on Valentine's. The first one we did in February 14th. But now, 2021, due to COVID, it couldn't happen. 2022, 2020 due to 2020 tulifanya. So 2021 due to COVID we didn't do. So ikatusukuma mbele, release, I think hata May ndio tulishoot. So that's why hata hii imetupata May. But now going ahead, it's supposed to be sort of a February 14th kind of thing, because we find in a relationship, that's where we have a lot of, everything is centered around relationships. When you talk of high cost of living, wewe hii gas tumekuwa tukitumia for how long, nini unapikanga, hapo kuna story. When talk about relationship, ulienda na mat, nini likuhapenia, makanga ako aje, how do they relate makanga na women? Like, those are society issues we meet. So from this, we are able to get different topics, and that's why we'll be able to talk about gava. Saa zile mko wawili na mtu wako, si ndio huwa mnazengenyana kabisa, mumeegelea miguu kwa ukuta. Through Thick and Thin, it's someone is thin, the other one is thick, so tunaenda kuharibu hiyo hesabu, naenda kuharibu vibaya sana. There was that. I love playing with words. So when I was asked, hii kitu tuite aje, because it has to have lazima ikuwe na theme fulani that now will be 1, 2, and then after your theme there is a subtopic. Like for example, subtopic for this year is labor of love. So labor of love, it's symbolic in the sense that, so everything we do is symbolic. So tuanze na through thick and thin. Through thick and thin is through thin and thick. The other one is thicker. To 37. So so that's through thick and thin. But then at the same, ukiangalia kwa maana ya ndani, it's through thick and thin. We are all trying to go through thick and thin. There are times vitu ziko fiti, saa zingine haziko poa, but all in all it's tuna try ku laugh at it as we go. So there is that. Then you come to now, let's say for example, labor of love. Yeah. So the first one, it was called, the last year it was called Mistaken. And through thick and thin too, we had Mistaken. Mistaken ilikuwa miss, M-I-S-S, taken. It was mistaken. Our meeting with Celestine haikuwa inafaa ku happen. Ilikuwa by mistake. Yeye alikuwa anaendea beshte yangu, mimi nilikuwa naendea beshte yake. It was by mistake. So there is mistaken, at the same time she's miss who is taken. So when you really think about it, inakuwa na maana mbili. So come to this year, labor of love. Labor of love, it's labor for labor. So we all know she's expectant, so there's labor from love. At the same time, it's a work of love. We've done it, it's work to me labor of love. So it's not just words, it's kucheza na maneno. Some words zinakuwa. That's why unaweza tupiwa mistari na mtu, alafu unashindwa, kwa nini udema anapenda hiki kichali? Kinakaa tu vile kinataka, lakini amempenda, si kupenda ni maneno. Unashindwa anafanyanga nini? Ni anajua. So either maneno ama mambo ingine. Yeah, but for me, my target for Through Thick and Thin was one, to be able to establish a platform where you can be able to do what you feel. Because for artists, I think expression is the greatest form of freedom that you can have. Unaenda unajiachilia. But when you have that curtailed to, you can only do that for 5 minutes. You can only, because you see, so to trying to create, one, more options. Right? 2, to be able to do something that I feel ningependa kufanya. Because a lot of time kusema nitafanya, utafanya lini. So there is that. 3 is to be able, like for example, now when you look at the system we adopted for you pay per view, so to speak. Wasanii hapo mbeleni tulikuwa manze lazima uongojea third party, either corporate, which is nice, ama someone who has the capital to be able to have your show. So now you can be able to have your show and sell it directly to your consumer. And since we started, I've seen guys are doing that. But also, where we are now with TTnT, I think I'm so happy because it's not something we thought. Because when we did the first 3 Through Thick and Thin one and we put on the website, people were home. So people were consuming a lot of online material, umetulia nini naeza fanya. So there was that. So now, this time, there was a challenge because watu wamerudi job, watu wamerudi shule. So we were like, I don't know how this is going to work. But it's actually doing better than TTnT one. Going ahead now, because now what's happening is people are realizing by they need to put money on entertainment. Because if nalipia pombe, condom kwani unapatiwa, okay, kuna zile za bure. But if I pay to get premium condom, if I pay to get premium mzinga, then comedy pia ni entertainment, whatever it is. Even for muziki, people are doing that on the sites that they're curating music. So I think so far it's amazing, and now going forward, kazi ni kwetu now to be able to ensure that we have quality content, not the same jokes. Unanisikia kwa hii harusi niko na hiyo joke kali, kuna ile moja yangu ya farasi, then nikitoka hapo manze birthday party ile ya farasi amechoka bwana. So I think with that, because that's what we've been lacking. Ukisikia mtu ana repeat joke is because you cannot afford a creative team. Ukiangalia majuu akina Trevor Noah wanakuwa na a writing team. Kevin Hart ako na writing team, anatembeaga nayo. Jubila hiyo writing team hayuko, which is very crucial for you to be very wacha tuseme to hit the ceiling. You need creative partnership, so to speak, kama jeshi, and for that you need money.
Juzi nimesikia watu wakisema ati Njugush is the Kevin Hart of Kenya. Anachapa show sijui how many hours.
I think one, that makes me feel okay, because one, feel good, because when we started this journey for stand-up comedy, sio kitu nilikuwa nimefanya, and a lot of people discouraged me. Kaniambia hiyo sio yako, wewe fanya skits. But you see, that's a problem, because why should we be able to limit people? Unaona hata Mukulino, mimi napenda kupatia an example na Mukulino. Mukulino akizaliwa hajuangi kuimba, but
tunakuja tunasoshana aki na kasauti na hawanyongwi, ni kutrainiwa. That means you can be able to do anything. Juu wanazaliwa na mama different, but wote wanapiga hiyo. Hakuna mkulino hajui kuimba. Daktari akienda shule, unapataga huyo daktari hakuzaliwa akiwa daktari. But through training and time, they're able to do that. So even us in terms of what we do, because for art imekuwa gani trial and error. Unafanyaga tunachekesha, naweza chekesha. Hebu ambia ile joke yako ya farasi, unapiga, wanacheka. Then ukienda mahali joke ya farasi. But I think there are levels to these things, because in our curriculum, in our society, art has not been really haijatiliwa maanani. And that's why some of us unaonaga tunafanya ni trainer as we go. But the way it's supposed to be like any other profession, where you find a doctor, kuna mpaka module. Umefanya module, unasikia there is work that goes into it. There is research that goes into it. But for us, we don't do that because, again, as I said, it's capital intensive. Na ukiambia mtu unataka do, like for example, if I'd go to somewhere looking for investment, nimwambia nataka unipatie mita kadhaa, nikafanya comedy, atadhani mimi ni mjinga sana. Hata nikupatie milioni gapi? So uende ukachekeshe watu. Kwani ni pesa zinachekeshana? But having people say that, it means one, kuna kitu ina happen. Two, I'm in a space where I can grow. Because I thought nikiingia nitaambiwa, wachana nayo. I'm in a space, and that's what all of us need. We just need spaces we can able to grow and become the best we could ever be. Hakuna mtu anajua kile anadu in terms of 100%, in terms of, well, in our whatever, mimi personally siwezi sema hii kitu nimeivisha. Because it's kile nafanya, maybe hata ningefaa kuenda huku, but na celebrate nimefika hapa, kumbe ningefaa kuenda even further. But the whole essence is to be able, I think, to break ceilings zimekuwa zimewekwa. Juu vile tumegrow manze sisi kwetu. Like for example, there's a time niliambia madhe mimi siku moja nitataka kuendesha V8. Akaniambia hiyo gari, hiyo ni kubwa sana. But nikamuuliza, mama na wewe unahubiri injili, kwa nini V8 ni gari kubwa? Akaniambia, unajua sasa hizo ni za wadosi. Nikamwambia, nani alisema nani anasemaga huyu ni mdosi? Akianza kuwa mdosi ulikuwa madhe? Nilimpigisha makelele. The first time nilipata kupigisha makelele, nikamuuliza, huyu mtu akianza kuwa mdosi ulikuwa hapo? So sasa amefika ndio una cross hiyo nini ya kusema ni mdosi. So I think there is that ceiling yenye huwa tumewekewa in different aspects, but it's very important to be able to break it. And that's what happening right now. Angalia mse kama Crazy Kiana. Wacha ni go back to Crazy Kiana. Crazy Kiana in the world tulikuwa before, ange have kuenda kwa show fulani aende akizunguka akiulizia kama atapata kazi. Kama angekosa, the guy would have been doomed. Angeendelea na hizo engineering zake. You get? But you see what happened with social media and the space to grow is that jamaa amelipuka, he's doing his own thing. He has a whole crew. And for me, I think that's a beautiful thing. So we have a lot of growing to do, but we are happy we're headed in the right direction.